All right, shalom. Yahweh Shem Yah Shabbat Tham to all the brothers. Yahweh Shemal Atan Bashem Yahweh Shai to all the sisters. This is the Tuesday Brotherhood class, usually taught by Officer 50 Tazapwan. I'm holding it down, Officer 50 Ra'arban. And we're going to get into the topic on the role that women play in the nation of Israel, man. It's a very important role. It's a very important role. The men have their role and the women have their role also. We both complement each other. Ain't no divide in men and women in the nation of Israel, man. We're both important, man. We both have very crucial roles. Just to let you guys know, there's a school in Birmingham, and we do classes there on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. On Monday we have the history class taught by Officer 5000 Karathia. The class is 7 to 9. On Wednesday, we have the law class taught by Officer Damgabar, again at the school. On Thursday, we have the scripture breakdown class where you can bring all your questions, any scriptures you need broken down. You bring that to the captain and he'll break it down for you on Thursday. And we also have online classes. So the Tuesday, we have the Brotherhood Class, which is today. And on Friday, we have the On the Ends radio show. And we also have the Lashwan Kodash, the Hebrew class. So make sure you make it down to the school on those classes Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and join in online on Tuesday and Friday. So the topic we're going to get into is women and the role that they play in the nation of Israel. I don't currently have a reader, so I'm going to rock it out. All right, so the first scripture is, so give me one moment. First scripture is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 22. The book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband, as unto the Lord. So the Most High commands women and our wives to submit themselves unto their husbands, even as they submit themselves unto the Most High. Submit yourselves unto the Lord. And what does that mean? It means that you're supposed to reverence your husband in the same way that you reverence the Most High. The Most High has given men the position that the men serve Christ, Christ serves the Most High, and the women serve the men. The Most High is giving that order, giving that structure, and you're supposed to reverence that in the name of the Most High. So in the same way the church, meaning the men, we reverence Christ and we reverence the Most High. Women are also to submit themselves and reverence their husbands in the same way they reverence Christ and they reverence the Lord in that same way. Verse 23. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church. Because the Most High put it in place where the husband is the leader, is the head of the wife, even in the same way where Christ is the head of us. We follow after Christ, and the women are to follow after us and submit ourselves to us, themselves, in verse 23. And he is the savior of the body. So Christ is the savior of the body. Christ is the savior of us. It's because of Christ that we're able to be brought back into the truth. We're still able to receive this truth. We're able to come back to the Most High. And when we give reverence to him, we're able to receive blessings from him again, and eventually we'll receive the kingdom of heaven. In that same way, the wives receive that reverence, receive that grace through their husbands. So they follow their husbands, they get correction from their husbands, and they get the correction, they get the word from their husbands or the men over them. If you don't have a husband, it'd be your camp leader, for example. The next scripture, I'm going to get 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 9. Pardon. The book of 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 9. In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel. So our women are not supposed to be, in skimpy clothes, looking half naked on the street, looking like every other damn heathen woman, going to slut walks and parading their sexuality all over the internet and all over the streets. That's not how our women are supposed to be, man. Our women should hold themselves to a higher standard. We should look at our women and look and see that these women are holy, man. These women are set apart. They are not like all these other nation women. Which, if you look into a lot of these, pretty much all these other nations' women's, their women are just whores, man. Our women aren't to be like that. There should be no whoredom of the daughters of Zion. Our women are supposed to present themselves in a godly manner, in a righteous manner, wearing modest apparel, not showing off your skin, not showing, you know, wearing skin tight clothing and showing off every curve and crevice of your body. We read it again. In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety. So our women are supposed to adorn themselves in modest apparel, in modest clothing, covering their body, wearing stuff that is modest, in shamefacedness. You're not supposed to be a shameless woman. You're not supposed to be a loud woman and a gossiper and a woman that dresses provocatively, a woman that has no shame. Our women are supposed to have some shame about them, understanding that their body is not for everyone to see, understanding that it's not becoming of a woman to be loud and obnoxious and just just wicked, man, just unpleasant to be around, man. You should look at our women and look at them. They should be dressed in modest apparel. They should be shamefaced. They should have some, decorum about them. Um they should conduct themselves in an elegant manner, where you can look at that woman and say, that's a righteous woman, man. That's a woman of God. You can tell she has a good husband. You can tell she has a man in her life that's guiding her the right way. And a lot of the problem with our women these days is that they don't have fathers to guide them. If they do have a father, he's not guiding them properly. He doesn't have the right authority, or he's not in the right mind frame. He doesn't have this word to guide to not only guide himself but guide his family in the right way that they should conduct themselves. But to the sisters that don't have fathers, they don't have any authority at all, and so you usually get the worst out of them. They're the most, you know, loud and obnoxious. They dress however they want to dress because they want their mom doesn't really correct them in the right way. But our women are not supposed to conduct themselves in this manner. They're meant to be have shamefacedness and sobriety. I mean, you're not supposed to be, off your head of weed and drugs, or drunk out of your face of liquor, and just conducting yourself as a way that's unbecoming of a woman. You're supposed to be sober. You're supposed to be shamefaced. Not supposed to be, all stumbling everywhere and having all sorts of wardrobe malfunctions because you're drunk. You're supposed to be being modest, be shamefaced, and be sober. Reading on. Okay. So let me get the reader. Right, no, so we'll read to this already. Reading on. Not with braided hair, or gold, or pearls, or costly array. So it says, not with braided hair, or with gold, or costly array, or fancy jewelry. That is not how a woman makes herself beautiful. That's not how a woman, shows herself that she's godly, just by looking good and wearing, nice gold earrings and nice clothes. That doesn't show you to be a godly or a righteous woman. You have to adorn yourself in modest apparel, meaning you can wear, and you're supposed to like be modest as an individual. It's like, I'm gonna add you to the stream now, yeah. Shalom, Adwan, Yabba Shem Shabbat. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Other one, can you hear me? Right. Is he even? Give me 1 second. Let me check the audio. Yeah, my audio's too up. Zapan, can you hear me? What's going on? All right, give me 1 second.
Yeah, I can just about hear you. Choppy.
Right. I want to check your Wi-Fi because my Wi-Fi is to what? I'll connect to my data. Just make sure. But try just check your Wi-Fi. Check it's the right one, and come back on.
My end is choppy and slow. Oh, I can see you as slow and choppy there.
I think it's on your end. You want to?
My side's not.
Right.
My,
I'm a drop you off and then just refresh and come back on.
I'm on data. Yeah, I'm on the data, so I'm not sure. It's not really that picking up that well
I know, so just
still.
refresh
All
and
right, let me go out and come back in.
no sweat. All right, where was it? What was we? Not with braided hair or gold or pearls or costly array. So as I was saying, it's not gold or pearls or nice braided hair or costly, expensive clothes that makes a woman beautiful, man. It's the way she conducts herself that makes a woman beautiful. A woman can have all these nice things, look the 10 out of 10 and some nice makeup or all the jewelry, all the costly clothes, the Chanel bags, all that good expensive clothes. It's to have, but that's not what makes a woman beautiful. That's not what makes a woman godly. That's not what makes a woman appealing to a man. It's the way she conducts herself. Because you can have all those things, but if you're not a modest woman, all you bring is shame to your man. All you bring is headache and stress to your man. Your man finds no rest in you. He looks at you and yeah, you're beautiful on the outside, but on the inside is rotten, man. You have no shame. You're not sober. You don't conduct yourself in the right way. So outwardly you're beautiful, yeah, sure, but inwardly you're not as beautiful as you like to think, man. Reading on. I'll do the other one back in. Shalom on Christ. Can you hear me better now? Other one, can you hear me? Can you hear me better now? I'm pretty sure it's not my side. Other one, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's very, very choppy. Is it my side? Let me check on the YouTube. It doesn't seem to be. 1 second.
Mm.
Yeah, it's for some reason your side is very choppy on the internet, but also we'll see where we go to. All right, could you get me book of First Timothy chapter
It
2 and
could be
verse?
mine. Yeah,
Yes.
On my side, it's taking a while before it comes in. My connection's not that. I'm on the data.
I can barely hear you.
The
Just
connection's not
check
that
your
good on this
check that both
side.
the data and the internet isn't on, because sometimes if your Wi-Fi and your data is on, it'll just go by the Wi-Fi. Um, but yeah, the audio is bad. So I'm gonna read on for now. Um, where was we? Verse 10.
Mm.
But which becometh women professing godliness with good works. So it's your good works that make a woman beautiful. It's not the gold, it's not no gold earrings, diamond earrings, all this jewelry, fancy clothes, nice braided hair, your edges laid. It's not that that makes you beautiful. It's good
How
works
about
that makes
that?
you beautiful, man. I can hear you slightly more
So,
clear, but the videos say go ahead.
Khan, is that a bit? Yeah, is that a bit better?
Can't, that's better.
All
Come
right.
on. All right, if you could get me First
Yeah.
Timothy chapter 2
First
and verse
Timothy
10, but
2:10. First Timothy 2:10. But which becometh women professing godliness with good works.
that's what I'm saying. It's those good works that make a woman beautiful, man. It's them good works that makes a man look upon a woman and say, "That's a good woman right there, man." I could see myself starting a family with this woman, man. This is a woman who's gonna be a
Right.
helpmeet unto me. This is a woman who's gonna enhance my life, man, make me stronger, man. This is a woman that's gonna feed me when I'm hungry, man. A woman who's gonna nurse me back to health when I'm sick. Whereas if you don't have those nurturing qualities, those good works, if you don't profess yourself as become of godliness, and you're just pretty on the outside, it's what are you worth more than your looks? What value do you have other than an object to look at? Go ahead, read them. Read on.
Khan, verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
So the woman should learn in
Khan, verse
silence with
12.
all subjection.
But I suffer not
Okay, flag the
a
desert.
woman to
Desert.
teach,
Delay.
nor to usurp authority over
I think that the internet connection's gone again.
the
Yeah, it's
delay.
a pretty bad delay. Um,
Mm.
1 second. Just try refresh it and come back in, because I think the internet connection's a bit better, but there's still a delay. I think it might have been from before.
Mm. Right, I'm on my data here. Do you think it's best if I use the Wi-Fi that's here, or I'm using the data on the phone?
Do you have good bars on the data? Your data should be better
It
than
doesn't.
mine.
It doesn't show. Mm.
I think if you just refresh the stream and come back on,
Right.
it should fix itself. All right, I'll read on for now. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. So woman should learn in silence. Woman shouldn't be, you know, in the presence of the priests and you know trying to battle the priests every second. She's come with some new things she's learned, some new doctrine, and wants to shout out in class, or try to challenge the prophets or come against us in camp. That's not how a woman should be, man. That's a very masculine spirit, to want to challenge another man, to want to challenge the priests in that manner. Now, a woman can ask questions. You can definitely ask questions, but to come against, like, it's almost like you're trying to challenge a woman that's trying to challenge the church, trying to challenge the priests and prophets of the Most High. That's a very masculine spirit, man, and that's not how a woman should learn. A woman should learn in silence, man. She should listen to the prophets, ask questions, take notes. But you should learn in subjection. I mean, you're not trying to come up against or try and over, assert some authority. That's not your role, man. Most High made it that women are in subjection to their husbands, the men are in subjection to Christ, and Christ is in subjection to the Most High, man. He made that order. It's not your place to try and jump the line, man. To try and jump ahead of the man, man. That fun? Most
Can,
likely.
is that better? Does that sound better now?
Can't.
Right.
Where was we at? If you
First
get me,
Timothy 2:11. Oh, no.
can't. Yeah,
Okay,
read from
12.
11 up to
God. First Timothy
yeah,
chapter
Saki, read from 12. 12, Saki.
2, verse 12. God. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but
The
to be
most
in silence.
the Most High says suffer not. He doesn't suffer a woman to teach, man. Meaning he doesn't want a woman to teach. It's not what the Most High wants. Meaning we shouldn't be just allowing or promoting women to teach in the church. They should learn in subjection, and they shouldn't be trying to assert no authority over men. They should learn in silence, and that is a beautiful thing, man. When you see a woman just in silence, learning, she's taking in knowledge. She's not not trying to run her mouth like a lot of our women do in relationships. Every minute they want to argue with you. Listen, you do that at home, that's your husband to deal with. But don't bring that energy to the church, man. Don't bring that energy to the ICPK, man.
Right.
That's not how you should conduct yourself in the church. Not how you conduct yourself in the school, and that's not how you should conduct yourself in your home, man. In both those situations, you should be in subjection, man. You should be quiet and learn. Not trying to override and shout over. That's not how you. It's not how you get your way in a relationship, and it's not how you learn in the school. Because you just think you know something, so you're just talking a lot, but you don't listen. That's not how you learn. But go ahead.
God. Verse 13. For Adam was first formed, then Eve.
Because it was Adam that was first formed, and then Eve was formed. Wasn't Eve first formed, and Mosai was dealing with Eve, and then said, she should have a man, man. I'm gonna make Adam. Nah, the Mosai created Adam first. He formed Adam first and gave him dominion over all the creatures, man. And then he said it's not good that this man should be alone. And he made a helpmeet for Adam. He made Adam a woman to help him, man, to enhance him, man.
Right.
That is echoed throughout the whole Bible. That the women should be in subjection to their husbands, man. It was Adam first formed, and then Eve. The Bible clearly lays out your roles, but a lot of our women are rebellious today, man. They're stuck in Christianity, where in Christianity, the women are ruling that, man. It might be a pastor, might be a male pastor on the pulpit, but the women are running Christianity, man. Because it's an effeminate spirit in that Christian church.
That's right.
The women rule, man. You can't bring that energy to ICPK. ICPK is a masculine spirit, man. We have the spirit of Christ. Christ was a masculine man. He wasn't no feminine, limp wrist, straight head. Oh, I love everybody. It wasn't that, man. It wasn't that effeminate Christ you see in that Christian church, man. The Christ we serve, the Christ of the Bible, was a masculine man, man.
Right.
Go
ahead. Come, verse 14. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression.
It wasn't Adam that was deceived by the serpent, man. It was Eve that was influenced by the serpent, influenced by this devil, man, by this deceiver, by these other nations, and it was her that made that transgression, man. And then she gave it unto her husband. Whereas Adam wouldn't have gotten deceived by that serpent, man. But the woman got deceived by that serpent, and then his wife influenced him, man. His wife brought that unto Adam, and Adam was weak unto his wife, man. And that's how that transgression came unto him. But it's the man that should lead. It's the man that should make these decisions, man. Go ahead.
Verse 15. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing, if they continue in faith and charity and and holiness with sobriety.
And a woman's role, one of the most important roles that a woman plays is childbearing, man. So woman bring forth children, man. Woman bring forth the next generation. And if you conduct yourself if you continue in faith and in charity, being kind and being generous, and in holiness, not walking around the streets half naked and being an obnoxious, loud woman, in sobriety, not being drunk or being off drugs and just aggressive, man. If you conduct yourself in a holy manner, being sober minded and like yeah, and in faith and charity, being kind and generous and willing to reverence your husband, then you'll be saved through childbearing, man.
Uh,
Drop that. Oops, drop that and give me. If you could give me 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 34, Baba Shah.
God. Lucky, say again, 1 Corinthians 14 and what?
14 and verse 34.
34, God. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 34. Let your women keep silence in the churches, for it
And,
is
and
not.
and yes again, it says, let your women keep silence in the churches, man. It stresses this that women aren't supposed to, shout out and try argue or battle against the priests. They're meant to conduct themselves in silence, man, and take notes and ask questions and take notes, man. But not coming against the prophets or not shouting out or, conducting yourself in a way that's just unpleasant, man.
Right.
Women are supposed to be unpleasant to be around. Women are supposed to be nice and comforting and nurturing and willing to listen, man, willing to learn. Go ahead.
God. For it is not permitted unto them to speak,
Go ahead.
but they can, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also says the law.
And this is in the law, man. They're not supposed to be just shouting out in the churches and coming against the prophets. Now, you're permitted to ask questions, but you're not supposed to try and assert no authority over these men, man. Over these men of the Lord, man. You're supposed to understand your role, and you can ask those questions. You ask it in a feminine way, you'll get an answer, man. And that even transcends that. Like, in relationships, you don't really get no good response out of a man by asking, "Oh, where were you? Where da 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 da?" Trying to assert some authority over that man.
Right.
You don't get your way by saying, "Oh, I don't think we should do this. I think we should do that, or go here, or do this, or do that." That's not how you get your way, man. If you come feminine, you say, "Slack, I don't." You say, come feminine, man. You women know how to do it. It's natural for you. But you're trying to put on a masculine spirit and compete with the men and try and, override men. That's what feminists try to corrupt our women's mind, man.
Right.
As if they're over us. That's not your place. That's not the place that God gave you, man. We need to play our role and you need to play your role. That's how it goes, man. Society can't run when the men and women aren't in agreement, man. Society can't thrive when the men and women aren't in agreement, the elders and the children. It just doesn't work that well. We all need to get along. We all need to know our role and understand our role and respect each other for that role, man. You can't try, just play a completely different role. It doesn't work. First of all, you're not biologically built for that role. And
That's
second
right.
of all, it's just not your place, man. The Most High didn't give you that that role to try and put yourself in. You're supposed to play your part, man. You have an important duty for this truth as well. You can, clean for the school, man. Make sure the prophets are in a good environment, a nice, clean environment, man, where the word can thrive, man. Feed the priests and prophets of the Most High, so we're not teaching on no empty bellies, man. Like these
Right.
sisters in the school do, man. They feed the prophets each week at camp, man. Make sure that we're fed. They cook in the schools. Make sure that we're fed well, man. That is a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't say, "Oh,
Right.
nah, man. The men should cook, man. We should be on that podium teaching, man." Nah, man. They don't have that no kind of spirit like that. Our women play their role and they play it well, man. It's a beautiful thing to behold, man. It's a beautiful thing to see. Making garments for the brothers, making headpieces, making sure that we look right, we're fed, we're in the right state to bring out this truth, man, and to strengthen more of our brothers and sisters, man, and bring them home. Go ahead.
God. Verse 35. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home, for it is a shame for a woman to speak in the church.
And if you learn something and you want to, ask some questions, or if you learn something and you want to bring it up to the attention of your husband, bring it up to your husband, man, or your camp leader. But don't try, do your own research and get so set in some idea that's not taught in ICBK, and you come against the school with some nonsense. That's not how you play your part, man. If you learn
Right.
something and you're confused by something, you need to ask questions. Ask it to your husband or ask it to your camp leader, man. Or bring it to the Thursday scripture breakdown class, man. Captain Pressure will break it down, man. He'll give you that knowledge. Take them notes, man, and learn. If you could get me the book of Ephesians, chapter. Wait, you just read that. Like the book of Genesis, chapter 2 and verse 18, Baba Shah.
God.
And this is going
Genesis
into
chapter
when the Most High created Adam, man. He created Adam and gave him dominion, and then he saw that it wasn't good for him to be alone, man. He saw that, you know, man can't just be alone, man. It's life ain't
mm,
really it's good when you're just on your own, man. If you got a good woman by your side, that is a beautiful thing
that's
to
right.
behold. Life is just so much better, man. Life is good when you have a good woman by your side, man. Go ahead.
God. Genesis chapter 2 and verse 18. And the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him.
And the Most High said, he looked at Adam, looked at the work he was doing. He said, "Listen, man, I look at the work you're doing, but I see it's not good for you to be alone, man. You need a
Mm,
good rib, man. You need a help that's good for you, man. You need a rib, man. You need
God.
a woman that's good for you, man. That can it enhances your life, man. It enhances your experience, man. Go ahead.
God.
Oh, Flaky, that was it on that.
That was it.
Get me Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 10, Bob Shirt.
31 and 10, you say?
Yeah, come on.
God. All right. Proverbs chapter 31, verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman for her
The Bible
pride?
says, "Who can find a virtuous woman, man? Who can
Mm,
find a woman of virtue, man? A woman of value, a woman that's worth something, a
right.
good, righteous woman, man." And even back then, it was rare to find, man. In those
Mm-hmm.
days, listen, women are very plentiful and common, but a virtuous woman is hard to find, man. In this
That's
day and
right.
age, it's hard to find a woman They won't argue with you about wanting to dress like a whore and go out with single
mm,
friends to a club and put themselves in all these ridiculous situations. Won't argue with you about, oh, I want to eat pork and I've always eaten pork
mm.
and my family, we have all these recipes. What, you expect me to throw them away? Won't argue with you
Good.
about, oh, I want to go carnival, man. It's about our
Mm,
culture and yada yada yada. Won't argue with
mm.
you about all these ridiculous things, man. It is hard to find a virtuous woman that understands, that is able to follow your leadership, man, that understands her role, that plays her part, man. It's very hard to find. Go ahead.
Good. Verse 10 again. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies.
That virtuous woman, her price is far above rubies, man.
Mm,
Rubies are rare, man. Rubies are precious. It's a precious stone. But a virtuous woman is more rare and more precious than that, man.
that's right.
A good, godly woman that conducts herself in the right way is worth far more than rubies, man. So, like, I'd rather have one of those, man. Rubies, is alright. A good woman, a nice, virtuous woman. So, like, man.
Good.
I'll take that all day, man.
That's
Go
right.
ahead.
Right. Verse 11. Come. The heart of her husband does safely trust in her,
And
so
you
that
give,
he.
like, and
God.
you give your husband as peace of mind, man. His heart is at peace, man.
Mm,
You can trust in that woman because you
right.
know she's not gonna do all this foolishness that all these other women do, man. You know she's not gonna step out and try sleeping over, man. You know she ain't stepping out in no, ridiculous clothing, half naked. You know she ain't
Mm,
conducting herself in a way that's gonna bring shame to you.
right.
You know that when people look at her, they know that she has a good man, man. She has a good man
God.
that she listens to, man.
Mm,
And they know that she ain't like all these other women that you can try to rizz up and try some sly tactics. Because nah, I ain't gonna work with this woman, man. You can tell she has a husband. She has a good husband, and she listens and respects that man. That's a virtuous woman, man.
that's right.
Go ahead.
Come. Slack. The heart, verse 11 again, the heart of her husband does safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil.
That man has no need of spoil, man. He's got a good woman. He doesn't need, you know, don't need all these things. And he don't need no rubies. If he's got a good woman, man, he's happy, man.
God,
You don't need to be rich. You don't need gold. You don't need good clothes. You don't need no expensive clothes. If you have a good woman that's by your side and stands by you and loves and respects you, a man is happy, man.
that's
His
right.
heart don't need to worry about her bringing shame to him. His heart don't need to worry about. I, I, I wish I could just trade this woman for some rubies, man. Nah, man, because with a good woman, he wouldn't trade anything for that, man. Go
Right.
ahead.
Salakia, and Salakia as well. You
Go
don't
ahead.
have to rob and kill and steal, you know what I mean, just to please this woman right here, man.
Mm.
You know? God. Verse 12. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life.
And all the days of her life, she does that man good, man. She makes sure he's fed. She makes sure he has clean clothes. The house is clean. The children are looked after. Does good things unto that man, man, all the days of her life. And she doesn't do no evil thing unto him, man. She doesn't stress him out
Mm,
every day, talking about, where were you, where this and that, da 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 da, always drinking, or da da da, always this and that.
mm,
You don't stress him out every day where you don't even want to go home. She doesn't, try to manipulate him or try to disrespect him or emasculate him. She don't do
right.
these evil things. She don't try, trapping them,
That's
putting
right.
them child support and all these things that these wicked women do in the world. She understands that in playing her role and doing these good things unto her man, her man will do good things unto her, man, and will reverence her, man.
Mm,
See, this is a good woman, man. And in making him strong,
God.
it benefits her, man. But when he's strong, the whole family unit's strong, man.
That's right.
She's not trying to break down her man and try and make herself, strong. Because that is
Mm,
foolishness, man.
mm,
You're trying to break down your man to try and make yourself strong. You're just making the whole family unit weak, man.
right.
And women don't want no weak man. So when
That's
they
right.
do all these things to constantly abuse him and beat him down and weaken him, then they don't want him no more. They cast him aside and go find the next man. And you've made
Mm,
yourself into a whore. You've beaten down this man and turned him into damn near nothing. There's no good in that, man. That's evil, and that only leads to death, man.
that's right.
But you find a good man and you strengthen that man and you do good things unto him all the days of your life, no evil. And that man will become strong and great and will give unto you what's due unto you, man. Will give you your praise and your props for being a good and righteous woman, man. For being set apart from all these other women that otherwise would beat him down, man. Go ahead.
Khan, verse 13. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands.
She seeketh wool and flax, meaning materials, to sew with and worketh with her hands, man, to make this man clothes, man, to make him some nice garments that he can wear, man. And the sisters in this school, they make garments, they make headpieces, make sure that we're adorned well, man. Just like this
Right.
good woman in Proverbs 31, man. This woman works with her hand with wool and flax and all these materials and make sure that her man, has the clothes that he needs, man. Go ahead.
That's right. Verse 14. She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar.
And she makes sure this man is fed, man. She's like the merchant
Mm,
ships, man. She brings all the good things into her husband, man. Brings her some nice new clothes that she's sold or she's bought. Brings her some nice food. Brings it to his work. All these things are
mm.
so beautiful to see in our women, man. It's a beautiful thing to behold, man. Go ahead.
Come, verse 15. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household,
And
and
she
a
she
portion, God,
go ahead.
God, and a portion to her maidens.
And she rises in the night, man, and gives food to her household, man. She makes sure that her family is well fed, man. That the
Hmm.
maidens are well fed. Their husband, the children, the maidens. Make sure that they're all well fed. You don't just, go to sleep and everyone's hungry. There's no food in the kitchen, nothing to eat. The children are starving, but she's tired, so she's gonna go sleep, and you can all just fend for yourself. Nah, man, this virtuous woman, she will wake up at night to make sure that everyone's fed, man. To make sure there's food in that plate, man.
Right.
Make sure that her household is good and well taken care of, man. Go ahead.
Come, like household maidens. Right, verse 16. She considereth a field and buyeth it.
And she
Salakia.
considers things.
Come.
She considers things that could make her husband, more money, more wealthy. She looks at things, man. She looks at, there's one field over there that, maybe we could buy and do something with, man. We could, plant some grapes there, have a vineyard, or
Hmm.
raise some cattle there. She looks for things. She looks
Come.
for ways she can better her man, man. Ways that she can improve her man's life. Because if he's doing well and he's making more money, then more money is coming to the
Hmm.
household, man. And you're all doing well.
Right.
And she doesn't, look at that field and say, that's a nice field, man. I'm gonna be a strong and independent woman. I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna keep the money, keep all the money. His money is our money, but my money is my money. Nah, man.
Hmm. Right.
She brings that up with her husband, man, so that they sort out together, man, and all that money comes to the household, not
Hmm.
just to her strong and independent backside. Nah, man. He brings it to the household so that everyone can eat, man. The children can eat, man. Children can benefit from that field, man. The man, the woman, everyone can benefit from that, not just her. Like a lot of these
Right.
self women in the world, man. Go ahead.
Can consider fulfill and benefit with the fruit of her hands. She planteth a vineyard.
And she
Verse
plants a
17.
vineyard, man, with the fruit of
Mhm.
her hands, man. She puts in some labor, man. While the man's at
Right,
work, tending to the sheep and or doing some hard labor. She does some labor of her own, man. She plants some grapes, does some garden work. Not the too heavy stuff, but some of the lighter stuff. But she can put her hands to work as well, man.
right,
Sitting at home, sitting on the couch, being lazy, not really doing nothing. A lot of our women don't even take care of the house, man. Never mind, putting themselves to work in any capacity. They just sit around waiting for you to come home with a check so they can go shopping and go spend it. That's a draining, man. If you have a good woman that not only looks after the house, looks after the children, but she's willing to put in some work and put herself to work and make some more money for the family. That's a beautiful thing, man.
right.
Go ahead.
Can she girdeth her loins with strength, and strengtheneth her arms.
She girds her loins with strength and strengthens her arms, man. She puts in some work, man. She ain't just sat around doing nothing. She puts on a girdle and does some work, man. Go ahead.
Verse 18. Can she perceives that her merchandise is good, her candle goeth not out by night.
And she perceives that the things that she puts her hand to are good, man. She might be sewing clothes and she could sew some clothes and sell it and make some money. And in this case, she could plant a vineyard, make some grapes, some
Mm-hmm.
wine, sell that, make some money. Her merchandise is good, man. The things that she puts her hand to, the Most High will bless
Mm-hmm.
because she's a good and virtuous woman, man.
That's
And that
right.
merchandise is good, man. The merchandise of a good woman is good, man.
Mm.
And her candle doesn't go out. She doesn't just stop, man. This woman keeps going,
That's
man.
right.
Her lamp burns continually, man. That candle don't just go out. She don't just stop.
Mm.
You know, suddenly she just stops, and the work that the house doesn't take care of anymore, and she's not
Mm.
putting in no work. This woman understands that you can keep going, man. Just keep going. You don't just
Right.
stop because you feel like this and you feel like that, so you just stop everything and everything halts, and your man is just wondering what's going on, man,
Mm.
because you feel some kind of way and you don't communicate with him. A lot of women will just be in a mood, and as much as they say communication is key, they are terrible communicators. So like yeah,
Mm.
these women are terrible communicators. So they will stop
Good.
everything and make the
Mm.
whole house just descend into chaos rather than communicating, man.
Mm.
But not this woman. This woman, her candle continually burns through the night, man. It don't go out. If this woman has
That's
some
right.
problems, has some feelings, she'll discuss it with her man, man, and sort it out so that lamp keeps going, man. That candle keeps burning, man. You don't just stop and throw everything away and descend everything to chaos. That's foolish, man. That is your house you're letting descend into chaos. You live there also, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
God. Verse 19. And she layeth her hands to the spindle, okay, and her hands hold the distaff.
She layeth her hand to the spindle, man. She does sewing. She makes clothes, makes some garments. Look at this stuff. Um, yeah, it's a staff to hold the flax. So it's to do with, spinning and,
Mm-hmm.
and weaving clothes and making clothes. Puts herself to work, man. The things that she can do, the things she's skilled at, she puts herself to
Mm-hmm.
work and make merchandise, and you can sell it and bring in some more money.
Right.
She don't have no idle hands, man. She's always doing something. She's putting
Mm.
herself to work, man. Like the men of the Most High putting themselves to work, man. We go to work, we come home, we're studying, we're putting some stuff together for class, we're going out at camp. You can't just be at home being idle, sweep the house and that's it. Just go to bed, sleep the rest of the day. This woman sees that she has time. She's skilled at things, and she puts herself to work, man, to improve the life of her man, to improve the life of her family, man. That's
Right.
a virtuous woman right there, man. Go ahead.
That's right. Verse 20. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor. Yea,
And this woman
she reacheth.
stretches her hand up to the poor, man. She helps the poor, man. She looks at the poor and their struggle, and she helps them out in ways she can, man. She gives tithes to the school because she knows that money is going to, help the poor, man. The food program, the clothing program, the she knows that we're going to use it to build a school so we can help more of our brothers and sisters, get them off drugs, save their lives, make sure that make sure they're right, man. Get their mind right. This woman doesn't, she don't just see the poor and thinks nothing of it and goes about her day, goes back home. This woman sees the things that we see, man. She sees that her nation is destroyed. She wants to contribute to that as well, man. She gives her tithes to the school. And we use that and we help the poor, we help the widows, man. Give back to our community, we give back to our nation, man. Let me read on where the officer left off. Okay. Back on. All right. Where
Okay.
you at? No sweat.
Right. Well, a second. 1 second. I was at
Is that verse?
verse 20.
Come on. Go
20,
on.
right?
Come on.
She stretcheth out her hands to the poor, yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy.
She reaching out her hands to the needy, man. She does things to help people, man. Go ahead.
Right. Verse 21. She is not afraid of the snow, for her household,
Go ahead.
for all her household are clothed. For all her household are clothed with scarlet.
And she ain't worried about the snow or the harsh elements for her household. She ain't worried about the snow, the rain, storms, because she looks after her household. She makes sure her man and her children have the clothes they need for the winter. Their winter clothes, their summer clothes. All these things. You have clothes for the rain. The children ain't gonna catch cold or catch all sorts of flu and all those things because they're outside in the rain with no covering. Nah, man, she makes sure that her children, they have the right stuff. Winter gloves, their hands aren't getting cold and get frostbite. She doesn't fear for these things because she cares for her family. She looks after her family, make sure everyone has everything that they need, man. Go ahead.
Verse 22. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple.
And this woman, not only does she make her husband and her children and her family clothes, she makes herself clothes, man. She makes herself beautiful clothes of tapestry, man. All this intricate design. This woman was skilled, man. This type of woman, she uses her skills to improve the life of her family, man. She uses her skills and things that she's good at to better her family and better herself, man. She made herself some nice clothes in silk and purple. This woman was looking nice, along with being nice, man. She was arraying herself in the gold and the costly array, as well as wearing modest apparel and having a good spirit, man. Being a holy woman, being separate, man. Woman at all those things. Go ahead. Go ahead. It's like read on.
Verse 23. Her husband is known in the gates. Her husband is known in the gates. Can you
I
hear me?
think there's a delay again.
If among the elders of the land.
Give
Mm.
me one sec. Can't. So her husband is known in the gates, man. Her husband is known among the leaders. If you had a good woman like this, her husband is known, man. Because a woman represents her husband. You see a good woman like this, man, doing the work and being a virtuous woman. You know that she is a husband to a good man, man. So that man is known among the elders, man.
Mm.
Among his, that man is known among the elders and the people and the leaders.
Right.
And that woman is known also, man. That man is known and said, and they say to him, "You have a good woman, man. That is a good thing you've got going on there, man. You nurture that. You take care of that, man. Don't ever lose that, man." And they know that, you know, if he's as long as he's keeping the law and doing the righteous things, the Most High will continue to bless that, man. And it will only thrive, will only prosper. She will only do more good things unto him. He'll do good things unto her, man. And that family would that family unit is a beautiful family unit, man. Go ahead.
That's right.
There you go. You jump to verse 25. It's like he frozen. What's the delay?
24.
Verse 25.
Count 25. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice. Can you hear me?
Can't I can hear you. There's just a bit of a delay.
Mm. Mm. God. All right. Strength and honor are her clothing, and
So to
she
this
shall
woman,
rejoice
strength and
in
honor are her
in
clothing,
in time to come.
and she rejoices in that. And she will rejoice in having that strength
God.
and that honor in time to come, man. She will rejoice in that in the kingdom of heaven, man. That strength and that honor and the reverence that she has for her husband, for her family, for her children.
Shall I read it again?
Those, like, those things will guide her, man. Those things will it's like, yeah, what does it say? She'll rejoice in those things when she makes it to the kingdom of heaven, man. She'll be praised for those things, not only now, but in the kingdom of heaven, man. Go ahead. It's like it might be worth dropping out and dropping my kin again because the connection's gone bad. Yeah, my delay. Let's just fold on. Alright, one second. All right, where were we at? Verse 26. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. So whenever this woman speaks, she's speaking wisdom, man. She speaks the things that are in the Bible. She speaks the wisdom that she's gained from the school, the wisdom that she's gained from her husband. She speaks wise things. She doesn't speak foolishness like a lot of these women in the world. All they speak, they don't. No one speak anything good, man. All they speak is hot girl summer and you know whole phases and all this wicked, all this foolish feminism ideology. That's all they speak, man. They don't speak no wisdom. They don't speak no true wisdom of the Bible, man. They have no real knowledge. They have no practical knowledge, no wisdom, man. What else do you say? And in her tongue is the law of kindness. Meaning that the things that she speaks kindness, man. She speaks kindness to her brothers, to her sisters, to the elders, the elder men, the elder women, to the children. She doesn't speak out against her man and try and put him down and emasculate him and say all these hurtful things unto him. She doesn't, a man will tell her something personal about his life, and later on when she's in an emotional state, she'll bring up against him. She doesn't do those wicked things, man. In her tongue is the law of kindness. She speaks kind things unto people, man. Back up. I can you hear me better now.
I can hear you, Khan. Yeah.
Is there?
Khan, yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I think there's still a delay. Yeah, this Wi-Fi is not.
Right.
Just check your Is your Wi-Fi on it as well as your data, or is it just your data?
Yeah. No, I turned that off before.
I'm not sure what's going on.
It's
Yeah, the Wi-Fi has gone hella choppy again. I can't even hear you.
No, I'm not getting that. I'm on one. I'm out in the sticks, in it, and it's gone. No bar now. So weak. Where am I? Reception. Yeah.
No. So is there anywhere that has a better internet connection? Just because the audio's gone very choppy again, it's dropped. Try joining the Wi-Fi instead. If that's any better. I'll read on for now. Verse 27. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Meaning this woman looks well to her household, man. She looks to her household and looks what needs doing there. She looks that, it needs sweeping, it needs mopping. If the dishes need cleaning, she looks into those things and makes sure they're taken care of. The laundry, to make sure that the children are taken care of, make sure her husband's well taken care of. And she doesn't eat the bread of idleness, man. This woman isn't lazy. She isn't slack to do things. She isn't lazy in her ways, man. She doesn't eat bread of idleness. Can you hear me now? Is it 12?
Yeah, I'm gonna try that now. Yeah, I can hear you.
Sure. It sounds like the delay is gone. If you get from verse 28, sure.
From 28. All right, Khan. There's Proverbs 31 and 28. Her children arise up and call her blessed. Her husband
the children
also
see all the things that this woman does, man. How she looks after her household, how she makes sure that they're always taken care of. And when they arise in the morning, they call her blessed, man. They understand that they are blessed to have a mother like this, man, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't have a mother that really looks after them and cares for them, and looks after their father and cares for him and makes sure the house is in order, make sure he has everything he needs to go out there and do his best. And she's not idle, she's not lazy, she's not just sitting around doing nothing. She puts herself to work, man. A lot of children don't have mothers like that, man. Go ahead.
Her husband also, Salakia, her husband also, and he praiseth her.
And her children call her blessed, and her husband also calls her blessed, man.
Right.
Her children and her husband, they understand this woman is blessed by the Most High to have all these gifts, man. And and
Mm-hmm.
and, and the husband praises her, man. Praises her, gives her, her praises, man. That woman is happy to receive all those praises for her good works. She continues to do it, man. That candle doesn't go out. Go ahead.
Come, verse 29. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all.
And that husband said, "Listen, there's many women that are, good, decent women that have done some virtuous things, but this woman right here, the level of virtue that this woman has in Proverbs 31, this excels them
Mm-hmm.
all, man.
Right.
This woman is set apart from she is a different breed, man. Salakia. This woman right
That's
here
right.
is different, man. This woman here is blessed by the Most High, man. And the things that she does will continue to bless her husband, bless her household, and will continue to bless her, man.
Right.
But she plays her role to perfection, man. Go ahead.
Come. Come, verse 30. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain.
Mm-hmm. And,
But,
and and favor is deceitful, meaning sometimes people will do favors and do things, but
mm,
it's got pretense to it, man. They only do it
come.
so they can get something out of you. So like, a favor
Mm,
can be deceitful, and beauty can
mm,
be vain. But
mm,
the works that this woman did were true good works, man. She didn't do
that's right.
favors just for to try and get something out of it. She did things for the good of her man and for the good of her family, man.
Mm,
And out of that, if a man sees you doing these things, he will give back unto you, man.
right.
You won't be doing these things and the man's treating you bad. That doesn't work, man.
Mm,
A righteous man will see these things and will give you praise and call you blessed for doing these things, man. And she had beauty. She was, dressed in some nice clothes that she made. She had beauty, and even just doing this work, these works make a woman beautiful, man. It could be
that's
the
right.
prettiest woman in the world, but
Mm-hmm.
a woman that might not be so hot in the looks departments, but does all these things is far more beautiful than that 10 out of 10
Mm-hmm.
that's lazy, has a wicked rebellious spirit.
Mm-hmm.
That woman ain't really worth, she ain't worth no rubies, man. So like it. But a good virtuous woman is worth far more than rubies, man. Her beauty isn't vain, man. Her beauty isn't just having nice curves and a pretty face,
Mm,
voluptuous face, all that good stuff. The things
right.
the R&B folks sing about. This beauty ain't vain like that beauty is. She ain't just wearing no
God.
gold jewelry and diamond jewelry and Chanel bags and makeup. This beauty is true beauty. This beauty don't fade. This candle stays lit, man. Go ahead.
God. I'll read that again, verse 30. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. But
Hmm.
a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised.
But a woman that fears the Lord, this woman will be praised, man. This woman will
Mm,
be praised for all her good works, and that strength and the it's like here, what does it say? Let me get it. The strength and the honor that she clothes herself with, she'll be praised for those things, man. And praised for all the work that she does. Go ahead.
mhm. God. Uh, verse 31. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and and
Go ahead.
let and let her own works praise her in the gates.
So she'll receive the fruits of her hand, man. She'll receive the praise that's due unto her, and let her
Mm,
own works praise her in the gates, man. The leaders, it will be brought to the leaders that all the works, pardon, that she's done, man. And everyone will know all these good works that she does, man.
Right.
Just like we do in ICPK, we give praise to all the men and the women that do well in the school, man. That do well in their
Right.
life. We give them praise, man. We say congratulations, man. Most High in Christ. We know that the Most High has blessed you with these things, and you've done well, man. You've done well in keeping these blessings, man. If you get me, Book of First Peter, chapter 3, and verse 1, double sure.
3 and 1. Okay. First Peter chapter 3, verse 1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands.
Be in subjection and reverence your husband. Go ahead.
God, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives.
And this woman might have a husband that isn't in the truth, man. A husband that don't quite believe, he's not all the way. But if you have a good woman, a woman like this, that Proverbs 31 woman that we just read about, a woman like that, a man can't deny, and she's in the truth. A man can't deny that
Mm,
there's something to the word, man. There is something to this, and he might be won over by that conversation.
right.
How she's trying to guide him to the word because she cares about him. She's trying to guide him to the truth, and she does all these good works, and she's a virtuous woman. She's a woman that her man doesn't have to stress about her, bringing shame to him in the streets and abusing him with words and doing all these wicked things. This woman
Mm,
does only good to her, man. As when he sees this good woman, he might be won over, man, and coming to the truth because something's here. There's something in this that is making that woman conduct herself in such an excellent manner, man.
that's right.
That's it. Read on.
Cool. So, okay, one sec. Right. Verse 2. While they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear.
Yes, behold your innocent conversation. Your conversation is modest, man. It's chaste, and it's coupled with the fear that you have for the Most High, man.
Right.
You don't, you're not quick to commit no sin or speak sinfully or just speak all these manner of wickedness. You have a chaste tongue. Your tongue speaks wisdom. Your mouth speaks wisdom, and your tongue speaks the law of kindness, as it says in Proverbs 31, man. And your woman it's like your man seeing this speech coming from you, seeing how you speak, how you conduct yourself, and that you fear the Most High. He might be won over by that conversation, man. Go ahead.
So, okay. Done. Verse 3. Whose adorning let it not be that outward adorning of the plaiting of the hair, and of wearing of gold, or of putting on of apparels.
Who's adorning the way that they clothe themselves? They don't just let it be the outwardly adorning, man. They don't just let it be, making sure the hair is braided good, the edges are laid, you dress nice, you have some nice jewelry, some gold, some nice clothes, fancy purse, a bag. It's not just that outward adorning. But go ahead.
Apparels. Verse 4. But let it be the hidden man of the heart,
But
in
let it be
that.
the hidden man of the heart, man. The spirit of the Most High that guides her. It's an unseen thing, man. But this is a vibration that she is on, man.
That's
And
right.
this the Holy Spirit is in her mind. It guides her. It guides her thoughts. It guides her actions, man. Go ahead.
God, hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible, even even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit.
And that spirit that she has isn't corruptible, man. That spirit is
Mm,
a meek and quiet spirit, man. A spirit that keeps her in subjection, that keeps her she understands understands her roles and understands where she excels and understands where, she isn't supposed to try a certain authority, man. She has a
Mm,
meek and quiet spirit. She ain't just going out in the streets half naked, shouting out loud, being obnoxious. This woman is a quiet woman. She has a quiet and humble spirit, man. And she is a keeper at
right.
home and looks after herself, looks after her man and her children, her family. Go ahead.
God, which is in the sight of God a great price.
And this spirit, a woman with this spirit in the sight of the Most High, it's of a great price, man. A price far above rubies, man. You can't put this is priceless, man. A woman like this is priceless.
Mm, that's right.
Very important to the nation of Israel, man. Women like
God.
this are
Hmm.
imperative to our nation thriving, man.
Right.
So they can bring forth children and raise them up in the right way, man. Not
Hmm.
raise them up, trying to rebel against their husband and not wanting to submit and celebrating Christmas and celebrating birthdays and causing confusion in the household. You need
Mm,
a good woman that's in subjection to follow you, man. To follow these laws, statutes, and commandments in the same way you do. So you can raise up children strong, man. Strong in this
that's
truth. You
right.
can raise up warriors, and you can raise up more good women, man. You can raise up the daughters of Israel that are gonna be future wives, man.
Mm.
Go ahead.
God, verse 5. For after this manner, in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in God adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands.
For in that same manner, the women of old that trusted in the Most High, they also had that meek and that quiet spirit, man. That quiet and that humble spirit, and they were in subjection to their husband, man. They
Mm,
understood that the husband was the one who led them, and Christ was the one who led their husband, and the Christ was led by the Most High, man. They understand
right.
that the order that the Most High put in place. Go ahead.
God, verse 6. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose
Even
daughters
even as
ye.
Sarah, even Abraham's wife,
Right.
reverenced her husband, man. Had a meek and quiet
Mm,
spirit, and she called her husband
right.
Lord, man. She called her husband Master. She said, "Khan one Khan, man."
That's right.
Amen.
God, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well.
And if you do well, you show yourself to be a daughter of Sarah, man. To be a daughter of Rebecca. You show yourself to be
Mm,
daughters because you follow after the example of these women, man. These wise women that were
right.
husband that were slacky that were the wives to wise men, man. When you
Hmm.
conduct yourself in this meek and quiet spirit and you're in subjection to your husband, you show yourself to be a daughter of Sarah, man. You show yourself to be wise and have the wisdom of the Most High in you, man. Go ahead.
God, and are not afraid with any amazement.
And you're not afraid with any amazement, man. There's nothing that can, you know, really shock you nothing that can throw you off the way you're acting, man.
Right.
There ain't
God,
no hot girl summer and no media that can influence you to completely, switch up and do a 180, man. Because you are
that's right.
grounded in this truth. You're grounded in the wisdom of the Most High. And you know that if you conduct yourself in this manner, blessings will come unto you, man. There's no blessings in no hot girl summer, man. You receive a
Right.
curse, though. You receive that damn monkeypox and STDs. And these thought phases, these whole
Mm,
phases. A woman like this ain't amazed by all these wicked things that they throw at you in the media, and they influence you to do all sorts of foolishness, man. She ain't thrown off by that, man. She knows better. She follows after Sarah, man. She don't follow after Cardi B. She don't follow after Megan Thee Stallion, man. She follows after Sarah, man. She follows after Rebecca. She's a daughter of
that's right.
those, not no daughter of who else, man. I don't even know. Kim Kardashian. She ain't even of our nation, but a lot of our women follow these foolish examples, man. Go ahead.
But it's lucky. I'm just throwing off words. How's that now?
It was at verse
What was I reading
six,
again? Two and
First Peter 3 verse 7.
so 3 and 7.
Yeah,
Oh,
Khan.
okay.
First Peter
Right,
3
right.
verse 7.
There we go. Yeah. Right. Okay. Verse 7. Likewise, ye husband, dwell with them according to knowledge,
And
giving honor.
the husbands of these women should dwell with these women according to knowledge, man. You should understand how you
Mm,
should treat your wife, man. How you should treat them well and give them reverence for the works that they do. And certain things you should say, certain things you shouldn't, certain things you should do. Go ahead.
sure. Dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel,
And you give honor unto your wife as
and
unto the weaker vessel,
as
man. Because you understand
being heirs together.
it's like you want to say. I think there's a delay again. But you understand, you give honor unto her as unto the weaker vessel. You understand that she's more emotional than you. You have different biologies. You can't treat her the same way you treat a brother. You understand that she's different. She's a woman. She's more sensitive to certain things. So you conduct yourself in a wise way. You have the wisdom and you know how to treat your woman right.
Mm.
You understand? Go ahead.
Right. Come, giving honor to the wife as unto the weaker vessel,
Mm-hmm.
and as being heirs together of the grace of life.
And as
That
being
your
heirs
prayer.
together of the grace of life, man. You're both important. You are both heirs to the kingdom of heaven, man. You will both enter enter into the kingdom of heaven. So not only do you honor as being the weaker vessel, um conduct, treating her, different as according to her emotions, certain things you say, certain things you should do to so things go well, not causing arguments that don't need to be caused, or you know, just dealing with her in knowledge. But not only that, you don't abuse your authority. You don't abuse the authority that God gave you over this woman. You don't treat her
Right.
bad. You treat
Right.
her with
Mm.
honor as you treat her as honor because you're her leader, man. You lead her in the right way, and you don't abuse the people that you lead, man. Like in the ICPK, that the officers don't abuse the troopers, man. Captains don't
Right.
abuse the officers, and so on and so on, man. We,
Mm.
we, we treat them all with respect. And you treat your women with respect also, man, because you are both heirs to the grace of life, man. You're both heirs. You're both descendants of the children of Israel, man. You are both needed for this nation. You will
That's right.
both enter the kingdom of heaven. You'll both be there, man. We gotta come back together. We gotta get along, man. We gotta know how to deal with each other. Go ahead.
God, that your prayers be not hindered. Excuse me.
But our
Verse
prayers are.
8.
Go ahead.
God, verse 8. Finally, be ye all of one mind,
We should all be of
having,
one mind, man. Our entire
right.
nation should be of one
Mm,
mind. Our men, our women,
mm,
our elders, our children. We should all be on one accord and have one goal: to lift our
that's right.
nation out of this state we're in, man, out of this oppression, to serve the Most High and keep His law, statutes, and commandments, to be delivered out of the hands of all these oppressors, and to have the Most High in Christ put us above all these other nations, man, and we will rule over
Right.
them, and we'll bring order back
Mm,
to this earth, man. To see our nation being called the wise and holy nation, man. That's the goal. That's the one mind we should all have. The men work for that goal in the way they work for it, and bringing out this truth and teaching and going to camp, going against the multitude. And the women play their role, man, in reverencing their husband, make sure the family's taken care of, the household, make sure the prophets are fed and clothed, and being in subjection, man. Go ahead. That's like
God.
that's how we thrive, man. That's how we get there, man. That's how we get to that goal.
Mhm.
We
Right.
all need to play our part. The kingdom of heaven don't come by observation, man. You can't be no man, you're just lazy, staying at home. You can't be no woman where and you're trying to assert authority over the man. You're not respecting him, and you're lazy around the house, so you don't do nothing. Both need to play your role, man. Go ahead.
God. Let's say it again. Finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another, love as brethren, be pitiful, be courteous.
And you should have compassion one another, love one another as brothers, man. Have a tight bond
Right.
with each other. All of our nation, man. We should be of one mind and have a tight bond with each other, man.
Mm.
Go ahead.
God, verse
Be
9.
pitiful and be courteous. Be kind. Be generous. Be respectful. Go ahead.
God, verse 9. Not rendering evil for evil, or
And
railing for railing.
you don't render evil for evil, man. You don't render an evil action and say, okay, I'm going to do an evil action to you, man. Or railing for railing,
Mm.
just arguments after arguments and getting more arguments and just abusing each other with words, man. We should treat each other well with brotherly love, man. Don't do no evil unto us, man. And don't render
Right.
evil for evil or railing for railing, man. Go ahead.
God. But contrariwise, blessing, knowing that ye are thereunto called, that ye should inherit a blessing.
But instead of railing and evil for evil, you should give blessings to each other, man, and do good unto each
Right.
other, knowing that that's what we're called for. We're called to treat each other well, man. We're called to bring brotherhood
Mm.
back to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man, and bring sisterhood back to blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians.
Right.
Bring us all together, man, under one body, in one mind, in one accord, in one West, man. Go ahead.
That's right. God, verse 10. For
Oh,
he that will love life.
no, it's like that. That was the last verse on that. If you could get me, let's see, Ecclesiastes chapter 36, and wait, Ecclesiastes must be three,
3.
3 verse 20. Wait, what? Maybe it's Ecclesiastes. If you could get me Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 4. I'm trying to find something.
Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 4. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband.
And this virtuous woman is a crown unto her husband, man. Is a crown upon the head of her husband, man. It's something that he shows with pride, man. He's proud to have a virtuous woman by his side. It's a crown. It's a beautiful thing, man.
That's right.
For a man to have a virtuous woman is a glorious thing, man. Like a head upon the crown of a king, man. Go ahead.
Mm. God. But she that maketh a shame is, is as rottenness in his bones.
But she the what, Slacker?
But she that maketh a shame, ashamed,
Mm-hmm.
is as rottenness in his bones.
But she that maketh ashamed, her that makes a man ashamed to have her, man,
Mm.
ashamed to have dealt with her, man.
Right.
It is as rottenness to the bone, man. It's like rottenness to the bone.
Mm.
You are weakening this man's bone, man. And you're just spreading and spreading and
Mm.
constantly weakening this man. You're bringing shame, you're bringing headaches, bringing stress. This man is getting weaker and weaker. So rottenness to the bone that you can't even get rid of, man. Because you've dealt with this woman, you can't get rid of her, man. But a woman that makes her man ashamed,
Right.
a woman that does all these evil things to her husband is loud, obnoxious, and doesn't know her place, brings a shame to her husband, man. Go ahead. Slack, was that in that verse 14? I mean, verse 4, Slack.
Verse 5.
I think that was it on that. If you get me the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter
It's 12,
36.
right? 12 and 4.
Yeah,
that was it on
that was
verse
it.
4, right?
You can get me Ecclesiasticus chapter 36 and verse 22.
Ecclesiasticus. So like a 26:32, yeah?
Chapter 36 and verse 22.
36:22, Ecclesiasticus, 36:22. God, oh no, yeah. Ecclesiasticus chapter 36, verse 22. The beauty of a woman cheereth the countenance, and a man loveth nothing better.
The beauty of a woman cheereth the countenance of a man, man. The beauty, not only the physical beauty, but the beauty in her actions, the beauty in her works, it cheereth the countenance of a man. Makes that man proud in his heart, man. It's a crown
Right.
unto that man we just read. And a man loved nothing better. There's nothing better than the beauty of a woman, man. There's nothing better than that 31 woman. That's her worth is far above rubies, man. That's a great price to the Most High, man. Man loveth nothing better. Go ahead.
The beauty of a woman cheereth the countenance, and a man loveth nothing better. 23. If there be kindness, meekness, and comfort in her tongue, then is not her husband like other men.
And if there be kindness and meekness and comfort in that woman's tongue, then you know that her husband is not like other men, man. You know that her husband is a man in the ICPK, man. It's a man that has the wisdom of the Most High, man. Is a wise man that knows how to correct his woman, that knows how to guide his woman to the right way, to be the right way in kindness and meekness. Knows how to teach her how to be a woman, so that she's not influenced by all these, media and Cardi B's and Meg Thee Stallions and all these women that want to, shout hot girl summer in her ear and get to do all these things that are unbecoming of a woman. But this man guides her in the right way. He respects that man. So she conducts herself with kindness and meekness and comfort, man. You know her husband isn't just any other man in the world, man. Because you've seen sisters that have just any other man in the world, man. And they don't conduct themselves in this way. Because they don't really respect that man, truly. That's all it comes down to. Go on.
Verse 24. And he that getteth a wife begetteth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest.
And the man that getteth a wife begetteth a possession, man. That's a good possession, man. A help like unto himself. A help that is in the same mind and has the same goal as him, man. And a pillar of rest. A person that he can go home to and have some rest, man. Not like all these women where you don't even want to go home, man. You'll stay out at the bar, you'll stay out with your friends all night, and eventually, when she's asleep, you'll go home, lay your head, and you're out next morning, man. You ain't waiting there to get lectured and beaten down verbally. He that getteth a wife, meaning a good wife, you get her for possession, man. A help unto yourself, and a pillar of rest. A place where you can find rest, man, and comfort, and a nurturing spirit. You can find some kindness, meekness, and comfort. Not railing for railing and evil for evil. Find comfort, man, and rest. Go ahead. Go ahead. 25. Is the Wi-Fi gonna go?
Verse 25.
Okay.
Where no edge is, there come. Where verse 25. Where no edge is, there the possession is spoiled. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's very delayed though.
Gone off again.
Yeah. No sweat. Oh,
Is it gone off again? Can you hear
Khan,
me?
yeah. Khan, yeah. If you could just refresh and join back in, I'll pick up. So it's the reason where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. So where there's no hedge, where there's no guidance, where there's no protection from all these influences, the possession is spoiled, man. If you don't have the knowledge of the Most High to protect your woman from all these influences where she gets influenced to do all these wicked things, man. You're influenced to have a whole phase and hot girl summer and dress any type of way and talk to your man any type of way and just conduct yourself in a way that's unbecoming of a woman, man. If you don't have the wisdom of the Most High to know how to protect your rib from that, then that possession will become spoiled, man. And he that hath no wife will wander up and down mourning. And he that has no wife, either you don't have a rib, or you have a wife, but she's not a good wife, she's not a good possession. You wander up and down mourning, man. You wander up and down in the streets. You don't even want to go back home because this woman is a damn oppressor to you, man. You walk the street and you have to go through oppression. You have to go through the white man depression, and then you come home to more oppression. You don't want to go home, so you continue walking the streets up and down, man. And a man that have no wife, a man that doesn't have a good wife, that is a pillar of rest, that is a help like unto himself, you will walk up and down these streets and not even want to go home, man. Don't be a woman like that where your man don't even want to come home, man. Be a pillar of rest unto that man. Be someone that helps that man, that helps him, you know, improves his life. Don't stress him out, man. Don't try to override his authority. Be in subjection and be a helpmeet unto him, man. Don't try to stress him out where he don't want to come back home, man.
That's
You're
right.
I'm terrorist in his own house, man. He already has to deal with all the oppression of the world. If you could get me the book of Proverbs, chapter 14 and verse 1, Baba Shah.
God. Proverbs chapter. Okay. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 1. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands.
Wise woman, Bible says, a wise woman buildeth her house. A wise woman takes care of her house and builds it up, makes it stronger. But a foolish woman will tear it down with her own hand, man. A foolish woman,
That's
where
right.
if she's
Selassie.
not happy 24/7, she's ready to tear down everything, man. Just throw everything upside down, man. She ain't cooking no more, ain't cleaning no more. The clothes ain't getting washed. Nothing's
Right.
getting done. She ain't cooking your food no more. She ain't bringing you no lunch no more. Nothing. There's no help. It's only stress and only destruction in that home, man. It's only destruction in that home now, man. A foolish woman just causes chaos in her own home and brings about the destruction of her own household, man. She will drive that man away to the ends of the earth, man.
Mm.
And the children don't aren't in a nice, healthy environment. The children suffer. And if that man gets stressed out and just leaves, the children don't have no father no more. That woman doesn't have a man anymore, doesn't have no protection, no guidance. A foolish woman will destroy her own house in her emotional state, man. But a wise woman, what did he say in the beginning? Every wise woman.
God. God. Every wise woman buildeth her house.
But if you're a woman
But
that has some wisdom, if you're a woman that has some
mm,
knowledge about you, you will understand that it only benefits you to build your house, man.
That's right.
There's no benefit in tearing down your house and tearing down everything, trying to get this man to do something that you want him to do, man. There's no benefit in that, man. A wise woman understands her role and builds her house. It doesn't destroy everything because it's some foolishness, man. All right, get me the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 26.
7 what? 26?
Go on, 7 verse 26.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets.
And he finds more bitter than death. It is worse than just to die, than to have a woman that is her heart is snares and traps, man. Her heart is she just wants to catch you out on something and she will turn into a terrorist, man.
Right.
The moment she catches you out on something that even if it is unlawful, she don't like it, she's willing to destroy everything, tear everything down, tear you down. She's willing to bring up every argument, every damn insecurity you have, tear you down verbally. She will batter you physically. This woman's heart is snares and traps, man. Go ahead.
That's right. Come 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands.
And her hands as bands, man, meaning her hands are constrictive. She's trying to rule over her, man. She's trying to possess and control her man. He's trying to trap her man and get him in a state where he'll do whatever she wants him to do. She's trying to break that man down and emasculate him into where he's the woman now, she's the man. That experience to a man is more bitter than death, man.
That's right.
He would rather die than be emasculated to such a level. More bitter than death itself. So don't be that woman that your heart is snares and traps, and all you want to do is try and constrict your mind and control your mind, get him to do whatever you want him to do. Let that man be a man and be a help unto him, man.
That's right.
He will give you praise and give you reverence for that, man. And he'll respect you. But trying to control and constrict him and you're willing to tear down everything because he does something that you don't like. Don't be that woman, man. Don't be where you're that person where just experiencing you is worse than experiencing death. Don't be that, man. All right, for my last last one bring out, but can you get me Titus?
I'll finish.
Oh, Slacky, go ahead.
I'll finish it up. Whoso pleaseth the Lord, Slacky, whoso pleaseth God shall escape from her.
If
but
you
the
please the Most High,
shall
go ahead.
But the sinner shall be taken by her.
If you please the Most High, and you have the wisdom of this book, you will understand how to identify, and you will avoid these type of women, man. You won't get caught up if you truly you're studious of this Bible. You understand this type of woman. You know that her heart is snares and nets, man. You'll be able to identify it and stay well away from it, man. But if you're a sinner, if you don't study this Bible, you don't have no wisdom of this Bible, you're not aware, you don't have this practical knowledge to identify a good woman between a woman that's between a virtuous woman and a woman that's heart is snares and nets. You'll be caught up by this woman. You'll be trapped in that state, man, and you'll experience that hell, man. You'll experience that experience that's worse than death. You'll go through that if you don't have the wisdom of the knowledge, if you don't have the wisdom of the Most High. So listen, man, you need to come into the school. You need to learn this wisdom, man. You need to learn how to differentiate between a wicked woman and a good woman, man. So you can stay away from those wicked women.
Right.
But they will make your life hell, man. It's not an experience you want to go through. Trust me. Is that no, that's 26?
Oh, what? Crown, that was it on 26. Yeah.
Come on, if you get me Titus chapter 2, verse 3. But if you have a good woman,
Titus.
that experience is invaluable, man. If you have the knowledge of the Most High and you use that and you find a good woman, you vet her, make sure it's a good woman, man.
Mm,
You have her on your side. Listen, man, that Most High will give you blessings, man.
that's right.
You'll have a good possession. You'll have a help unto yourself and a pillar of rest, man. You'll have something that's worth more than rubies, man. Go ahead.
Crown. Titus chapter 2, verse 3. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness.
And the aged women, the women that will guide the next generation, the women that will guide the next generation of young women,
Mm,
should conduct themselves. It's like two and
as
verse
becometh
3, as become of holiness. Go ahead.
God, not false accusers, not given
Mhm.
to much wine,
Yep.
teachers of good things.
So these women shouldn't be false accusers, man. They shouldn't be bearing false witness, telling lies on women, telling lies on
Mm,
the sisters, on the brothers, just telling lies
right.
and bringing all sorts of discourse into the school, into the nation. And they should be, let's see, not giving too much wine, not
Mm,
not drunk out of their heart, out of their mind, but they're acting out of pocket. They're acting just reckless. And teachers of good things, man. They should teach the younger generation good things, man. The young men and women good things, man. That's how our women
that's
should
right.
be. That's the role that our elder women play in this nation, man. In this truth. That's the role that our women have, man, to build our nation, to teach our women how they should be, how they should conduct themselves, and from a woman's perspective, because we
Hmm.
understand and we'll bring it out all day, but a woman is more likely to hear it from a mother figure, man, someone
That's right.
who will guide her throughout her life and is experienced, who knows her emotions and knows how to deal with that, who can tell her from experience how to be in subjection to her husband, and how to love your husband,
Hmm.
how to look after your home. We can teach you these things, how you should be, how to be a good wife, how to be a virtuous woman. These roles are imperative for our nation, man. We need
That's
elder
right.
women like this. We need women like this to teach our young women. And we need righteous elder men to teach our young men, man. We need these
Right.
precepts of the Most High to teach the young men how to act, man, and raise them up to be mighty and strong, man, not weak and effeminate and just void of knowledge. The young men need to be full of knowledge and taught, and the young women also need to be taught, man. Taught this wisdom, taught the truth. Go ahead.
God. And verse 4, that they may teach the younger women to be sober, to love their husbands, to
And
love
this is what they
their
should teach
children.
the young women, man. To be sober, to love their husband, to love their children, man. Go ahead.
Right. God. And verse 5, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home,
To be
good.
discreet, meaning your business ain't out on the streets or every day of the week, man. You ain't chatting your business. You
Right.
should be discreet, man. What's yours and your husband's business is yours and your husband's business. Now, if there's something you need to raise to council, you
Mm,
bring that to council, man. But you don't bring it out where the whole nation knows your business, man. That ain't how you ain't supposed to be gossiping
right.
like that, man. You ain't supposed to be talking to your girlfriends and chatting your man and doing all these stuff. You're supposed to be discreet, man, and chaste. Your speech is supposed to be innocent, man. The way you conduct yourself is supposed to be innocent. And it's like, what else do you say? Keep us at home, man. You're not meant to be out on these streets every day of the week at clubs and just outside. And you're meant to be a keeper at home, man. There's work to be done at home, and your children are at home, and they need their mother there. You ain't supposed to be at no clubs every day of the week, and you know, without your man. Your man's at work, and you're at the club, or you're just outside, just consistently outside, man. Where your man don't know where you are. The house ain't being taken care of because he just out. It's always out. Never taking care of the home. Never, your husband never knows where you are, man. That's not how you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be a keeper at home. Your husband
right.
knows where you are. He knows that you're safe. He knows you're at home. You're taking care of what needs to be taken care of, man. Go ahead.
Good. Obedient to their own husbands.
And the elder
That
women
the
should teach
word.
the young women to be good, man. Teach them how to be good to their husband and obedient to their husbands. And how to look after their husband and their children and the household. How to do these good works, man. These virtuous works that are spoken of in Proverbs 31, man. And obedient to their husband. Go ahead.
God, that the word of God be not blasphemed.
That the word of God is not blasphemed, man. Because that's what the Most High requires of you. That's what the Most High requires of the women of Israel, man. The daughters of Sarah. That's who you should be, man. That's how you should conduct yourself. And if you have any wisdom, any knowledge, you will know to conduct yourself in this manner, man. And you will know that that is an important role. And you are needed in this truth, man. You are needed in this nation. We need more daughters of Sarah, man.
God.
We need women to teach the next generation and build them up to be strong and good women, man. Not strong and independent, man, strong in this faith and good women.
That's right.
That's the class. I'm going to pass it over to Prison Officer 50 to Zarpon for the salute.
Salakia again.
Yeah,
I'm not yeah, this is all right, Khan. Men of Israel, Amadim. Amadim Shabbat. Amadim. Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabrak
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabrak.
Khan. Yajamata. Class dismissed. Yeah.
Shalom to everyone that was in the class. Shalom to Ayah.
Yeah.
Shalom.
Tawada.
Yahweh Tam Bashem Yahshai. Tawada for the week.
All right. Shalom. Lord in Christ.
Shalom, Lord in Christ.